You know, he just didn't disappear out of thin air.
But where then? What happened to Dylan Redwine? The 13-year-old has been missing since he went to visit his dad in southwest Colorado for Thanksgiving. More than 2 months later, investigators are adamant he did not run away. 9 Wants to Know investigator Melissa Blasius has exclusive new information on Colorado's most talked about missing child case.
Kyle, Dylan Redwine's 14th birthday is next week, but no one is planning to celebrate at this point. That's because we can't even tell you for sure tonight whether he's dead or alive. But if you can figure out the mystery and tell investigators what did happen to Dylan, you could claim a $50,000 reward. Dylan Redwine. His face and name are everywhere in the southwestern corner of Colorado, but the boy himself is seemingly nowhere.
It's just a total black hole.
It's a nagging feeling that just eats you from the inside out.
Mark Redwine says he last saw his son Dylan sleeping on his pillow on this couch in this house.
The day he went missing, I was going to take him to Bayfield to spend time with his friends.
Dylan and his friends were inseparable last summer, spending most days at the river. Dylan was the daredevil.
He just jumped off one day and then we figured it was safe.
After we'd go swimming at the river, we'd go eat at AJ's like every day.
He would always get pepperoni.
While Dylan's pizza choice was predictable, the twists and turns in his disappearance are anything but. Complicated by his parents' nasty divorce and a custody battle that stretched for years. When Mark sat down exclusively with 9 Wants to Know, he described a loving bond with his youngest son, sharing these pictures from their summer vacation.
He wanted to go to Boston to see the Red Sox. And people thought I was crazy because I was willing to drive that far. Because those are memories of a lifetime that nobody can take away.
This was just in August. This was just recent.
His mom, Elaine, moved Dylan to Colorado Springs a few months ago.
Very conscientious, very selfless, you know. Very caring, very giving.
After her son went missing, Elaine repeatedly pointed a finger at her ex-husband.
The fact that Mark lost Dylan, that makes me very mad.
Being a mom, I can only imagine that her focus is trying to find somebody to blame. And it's easier for her to blame me than it is anybody else.
By all accounts, Mark picked up Dylan at the Durango airport the night before he vanished. They stopped at Walmart and a McDonald's. Dylan made plans by text message with friends to meet in nearby Bayfield in the morning. The last message was sent at 9:37 p.m., which leaves everyone else wondering what happened after that.
He was texting on the couch. Shortly after that, I ran up and went to bed. I get up to go run my errands because I had a payroll issue. I spent 45 minutes, an hour, trying to get Dylan to wake up, but he wasn't having no part of it.
When Mark returned from his errands, Dylan was gone. After a few hours, Mark contacted his son's friends.
First words out of their mouth, "We haven't heard from Dylan all day." That's when it hit me.
In the 10 weeks since, investigators searched every building near Vallecito Lake, interviewed hundreds of people, followed up on countless tips, including some from psychics. But the trail has turned cold. No sign of Dylan, nor his cell phone. Even his backpack with all of his clothes is gone. It seems unlikely that an abductor would have taken the time inside the Redwine house to pack up all of Dylan's belongings. So one theory is that Dylan loaded up his backpack himself, headed out of the house and along the county road, hoping to see a neighbor or even a stranger willing to drive him the 18 miles into Bayfield. The problem is, no one admits to picking him up, and nobody says they remember seeing him on the roadside.
He either left the house and someone abducted him, or something happened while he was still at the house.
Which leads us back to the only other person known to be in that house, Mark Redwine. The Redwines do have some history of family violence, and Dylan's older brother, Corey, is now claiming
he took me and Dylan twice and wouldn't tell us where my mom's at.
Mark Redwine's first wife, Elizabeth, made similar accusations. 9 Wants to Know obtained this police report from 1990, where she alleges Mark failed to return their kids on time after visitation and made statements about not returning the children. La Plata County Sheriff's officials say they know about the old claims, and these kinds of things are common during custody disputes. But a 13-year-old gone without a trace is not common, and investigators have searched Mark's house twice looking for evidence.
Did you have anything whatsoever to do with Dylan's disappearance?
Absolutely not. I would never do anything to harm that boy. I know they're looking at me as being involved in some kind of kidnapping scheme, which is one of the reasons why I want them to look closely at me. Because the more that they look at me, the more they're going to realize that I have nothing to do with this.
I just don't think he's taken the necessary steps to clear himself.
Has law enforcement said that anybody's clear? Have they said you're cleared?
No, they have not.
Elaine admits investigators also came to her home. They took computers and phones to search, and they gave her a polygraph.
Did you have anything whatsoever to do with Dylan's disappearance?
You know, I wish I did, because then he'd be home. I mean, I wish I could relive that day and do things a lot differently. I had absolutely nothing to do with Dylan's disappearance, and I really feel sorry for the person who did.
For the love of God, if you have any compassion in your heart, you would do the right thing and let him come home to his family.
So we want everybody to take another close look at Dylan Redwine. He's 5 feet tall, weighs 105 pounds. He may have been wearing a Duke Blue Devils baseball cap when he disappeared, Air Jordan sneakers, and that black Hurley backpack that nobody can find. Crime Stoppers in La Plata County is offering a $50,000 reward in this case for information leading to his discovery. So a lot of people really want to see this kid home today, or if not by then, by his 14th birthday next week.
Right now, everybody at home is playing armchair investigator, and they're comparing and contrasting the two statements from those two parents. We're not going to go down that road right now. Let's talk about what's officially part of the investigation. People are used to kind of a trickle of information or clues in these missing child cases, and in this one, nothing. It's like there's nothing more than the day that he went missing. What can we make of that?
Well, two things. Either they have no idea, and they haven't ruled out officially that a stranger abductor didn't come and get him, or they know who they think did it, and they're just waiting for that person to trip up.
And that could be the reason why a series of clues haven't come out.
Exactly.
Boy, this is a wild case. This is really a strange situation.
The most frustrating one I've seen in my 15 years of covering cases like this.
Melissa Blasius, thank you very much.